I just wanted to say a quick thank you to my friend Winter for sending us this awesome National Audubon Society book of mushrooms. So now we'll be able to tell what are edible and what are poisonous mushrooms, although we may still be too chicken to try them.
We might, but thanks anyway, it was great.
The Mountaineer cabin is going to be largely a craftsman style, arts and crafts, mission style, whatever you choose to call it, theme. And so I was looking up mirrors that fit that description, and they were hideously expensive. So I decided that I wanted to create myself my own. And so I was looking at thrift stores, and I found these two identical mirrors. And I was like, okay, I can do something with this. I found these guys, and this is what they both looked like before. Here I am in the mirror because I'm not that good of a camera person. And I took one of them and I turned it into a craftsman style. And I haven't done the other one yet, so I have to do the other one to make it match. Wow. Okay, that pours. Okay. So I put the stripper on, nice thick coat, and then I let that set for 20 minutes or a half an hour. So now I'm measuring that it is 27.5 on both. And so I have my wood strip here. So I'm going to cut my lengths, 27.5, and then I'll measure the second one after I get this one cut. Ooh, yes. The last thing I do is use this after wash product to clean off the residual stripper. And then there's only staining left. Alright. And wipe the whole thing down with a clean cloth. And I'll be ready for stain. Apparently I can't read a tape measure, and when I cut my pieces, I am about ½ an inch too short on both of these guys. So, since I don't have any more of this here, it looks like a trip to the hardware store. One aspect of life here is that when you come to a dead end on one project for one reason or another, you can't just call it the day and go home. So you have to pick up something else. So now that my mirror project didn't work out, I can't just run to this hardware store for one stick of wood. So I am about to start repainting these guys. I had been having Brian paint them this pretty blue color, but then I decided that I wanted to put the set in a different location, so now I'm going to be painting them red.
Today's one of those days where you have to do one of those jobs that you just hate to do because it involves all of this stuff right behind me here. We have carpenter bees, and carpenter bees are no fun because they don't build anything. They just dig tunnels in everything, especially all the wood. and so I have to go around and spray this stuff around, which I don't like doing, but it seems to work pretty well, and it's getting rid of the carpenter bees in the Hiwassee where we've used it up there already. And now I'm putting some here on the front porch to the lodge, and then later on I'll be heading over to the Mountaineer and to the Davy Crockett. So I'm putting all this gear on because this stuff is a little dangerous because it comes in as a concentrate and you get to mix it on your own, so you get to make it as strong or weak as you want. I'm opting for a slightly stronger formula because those carpenter bees are big. I don't want to get rid of them. Luke, I am your father. This is how you can tell you've got the carpenter bees, because there's this fine sawdust all over everything, because they're up there literally chewing you out of house and home. Well, I just finished up at the Woodsman. Now I'm headed up the big ladder up to the Crockett. Once more into the breach. Crockett has definitely been the hardest hit. The inside of the roof just looks like Swiss cheese. And if you listen really quietly, you can hear them up there chilling.
I wonder if those are edible. Just sort of pops off. Wow. Yeah, that's not popping. So is it just me? Does that look a bit like a rose bush? It definitely has thorns. Huh. It could be some sort of berry, but it really looks rosy to me. Well, we'll see later. I believe these are blackberries, which I may have already done a little video of. But later in the season, we will hopefully be tasting them. Alright, and this one is different, because that one has yellow. So I have no idea what that is. Stomach appears to be on the trail of something. Possibly this random hose that's running through the property, which we seem to have quite a lot of. Probably a lizard. She's very good at lizards. Even though she's supposed to be a rat terrier, but I guess we don't have as many rats here as we have lizards. She loves it here, and she has been really, really good. So a little pond. Oh, lots of little tadpoles.
Nola did a great job putting up the ceiling tile. It looks really awesome. Now it's my job to come back in and put back in the little crown molding. have to cut these little tops off the vertical trim here because, well, the ceiling tiles have thickness and we've added thickness to the bottom of the ceiling. So that's what I'm doing, is I'm cutting the tops off the trim here so that these little pieces will come back and fit and look proper. So I ran into this in the Woodsman. It's when you're doing this trim, you gotta like kind of really lay it out because in some cases they started in one corner and then went all the way around, and so you have to overlap the wood that way. But they did both ends and then they did the long side, so I was able to figure it out and went up. I'm almost done with it. So
okay, very cool. Then we can move the bed in. Yeah, I just got the bed finished waxing it. That took longer than I expected, but
okay.
But shortly we should be able to move that stuff in.
Cool. That's it. All the trim's up.
Yay!
So I think we're about ready for furniture in here. What do you say?
I believe that we are, and I'm very excited.
All right, let's go get it and bring it in.
All right.
Wow, this is really turning into a room.
Yes, it is. Although the chair I had hoped would fit in that corner, I don't think it's gonna fit.
That's too bad.
It's all right.
Well, we'll figure something out.
Yep.
Houston, we have a problem.
It's been a few days. We've been working really hard and feeling like we were making some really good progress.
And then it just went to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah. I mean, it started out actually a couple weeks ago when we discovered that there was no water that the water
lines were broken and we had to redo the water lines. But that was
not expected.
Yeah,
but
not
kind
unexpected. Yeah. And then the water heater crapped out, which, you know, wasn't very helpful either.
But we ordered a new water heater.
And we actually got it yesterday.
So we'll take a look at that, and hopefully that's not going to be too much of a problem, but you never know.
But the big thing is yesterday, while doing this seemingly innocuous task of, oh, just switch that light out in the bathroom, I accidentally shorted the line, which was shut off. I thought it was shut off.
Yeah.
And it arced in the bathroom and caused the lights in the bathroom and
the upstairs
lights and some of the stuff in the bedroom to like go out. And so I was like, oh, I'll just go back and flip the breaker and keep working. And I went to check the breakers and all the breakers were on.
Yeah, the breakers are fine.
None of the breakers had tripped. So I went and cycled through all the breakers, and the stuff that was out did not come back on.
Right, and an hour and a half of intensive research yielded...
And identifying which breaker was which circuit. Basically, we have to start tearing walls apart.
Yeah, because the latest theory is
basically what I'm going on is there's a junction someplace, and when I use the word junction, I use the word junction kind of like an archaeologist uses the word ritual. It doesn't really mean religious, and it doesn't really mean there's an actual physical junction, but there's a break in the line someplace. There's a short in the line, and I have to go through every place I possibly can to try to figure out where that short is and repair it.
Which means wall removals.
Which means tearing apart walls.
Now, bear in mind that we have guests coming to this cabin in exactly 1 week.